Hi, this is Akshasura from Konobos. Today we'll be talking about your content creation plan. Content creation plan, if you followed the videos we've gone through, you realize that we set up our content types, our content model, and then the content types based on our content model. Then we talked about roles, so grouping people together with what they're good at doing, like legalese, review, SEO review. Then we talked about workflows, so the path the content takes in order for us to get it published to various channels. Now, along with all of that, part of what we need to do is to have a plan in order to know what each person is doing, what kind of tools would they use in order to collaborate with each other. And collaboration becomes a key part to content production. If you look at a piece of content, we would probably want help in terms of how we produce content. So maybe you started this piece of content, but at the same time you need someone else to take a look into it. So you can definitely add other contributors to it. So for instance, I could add Mike as a contributor and assign this, so both Mike and I are responsible for this content. You could also do different things. So for instance, you could add some tasks. So you could say verify phone number, and then you can assign it to another resource. You could add tasks related to this specific piece of content. You could set a due date. So for instance, this has to be done by the 21st in order for us to meet our deadline. From a note perspective, we could say we should so something like that, a note which pertains to this. You could also have a discussion. So for instance, we know that there is a feature in content where you can start a discussion with other contributors about this specific content item. So I could probably say something like something to this effect, and all of these will be stored attached to this content item for you to go back and forth. There are other options as well. So one of the other things which is kind of interesting is if you're in the in between a piece of content and you want to make a comment. So you want to say, hey, Dennis, can you link, so something like this. So can you link to the right article? And then you could do quite a few things. So all of these comments are inline. So here we could also add comments, or we could add a suggestion. Basically a way for you to interact with a group of people in your own unit in order for us to get the work done. So it kind of becomes easier as you go. So Mike, something like that. So here we are able to collaborate with our peers or other people who are responsible for it, assign contributors, set up a date. So this, if we get the contact by the 21st, we want to be done with the press release on the 24th. And what this gives us, if you go and look at an overall view, these are the things I edited, these are the things which belong to me. But from a editorial calendar perspective, you can kind of start seeing things which are scheduled, things which we need to look at. Once you start adding other collaborators and content authors, the editorial calendar becomes extremely useful. There's different modes of looking at this, so you can look at it in whichever view fits you the most. You always know which pieces of content need to be done by you based on what's been assigned to you. It's even telling you set the due date for something specific, a content item, and how do you do that? Which content item it is, looks like a piece of coffee, coffee-based information, and maybe this is something which I need to tag a different user to or a different group and add some tasks. So using tasks, discussions, comments, contributors, you could add notes, due dates, they become helpful in delivering your content and looking at your content from a different way. And this all helps you in terms of reminders, producing your content on time and getting it out on time. I hope this was useful. And again, I do want to mention that the more you use it, the more you figure this out and the more helpful it is. Thank you for watching.